Set in motion. To initiate or start a sequence of historical events. Synonym for set in motion. Initiate, start, begin, launch, activate, trigger. The signing of the Declaration of Independence set in motion the events leading to American independence. The passing of the Civil Rights Act set in motion a wave of social change and activism across the country. The assassination of the Archduke set in motion a series of events that led to the outbreak of World War I. Go down in history. To be recorded or remembered for a significant event. Synonym for go down in history. Be recorded in history. Enter the annals of history. Become part of history. Be immortalized in history. Achieve historical significance. Make history. The discovery of penicillin by Alexander Fleming has gone down in history as a major breakthrough in medicine. Neil Armstrong's first steps on the moon will go down in history as one of humanity's greatest achievements. Neil Armstrong's moonwalk went down in history as a milestone in human achievement. Draw from. To derive or take inspiration from historical sources. Synonym for draw from. Derive from, take from, extract from, utilize, employ, use. The artist drew from ancient myths to create a series of captivating paintings. The author drew from ancient mythology to create the fantastical world in her novel. Historians often draw from primary sources such as letters and diaries to reconstruct historical events. Reflect on. To think deeply or ponder about historical events or personal experiences. Synonym for reflect on. Ponder, contemplate, meditate on, muse on, think about, consider. After the interview, she took some time to reflect on her career goals and aspirations. On Memorial Day, people reflect on the sacrifices made by those who served in the military. On Remembrance Day, people reflect on the sacrifices made by soldiers throughout history. Break with tradition. To depart from established customs or historical norms. Synonym for break with tradition. Depart from convention, deviate from custom, abandon traditional practices, forge a new path, innovate, rebel against tradition. The company's decision to allow remote work was a break with tradition in the industry. The young artist decided to break with tradition and experiment with new techniques in her paintings. The Renaissance artist broke with tradition, introducing new styles and techniques. Hark back to recall or remind of something from the past. Synonym for hark back to. Recall, remind of, evoke, call to mind, refer to, summon up. The film's soundtrack harks back to the music of the 1980s, evoking a sense of nostalgia. The architecture of the new building harks back to the classical style of ancient Greece. The design of the building harks back to the architectural style of the 19th century. Fall into place. To become clear or understandable in the context of historical events. Synonym for fall into place. Make sense, click into place, become clear, fit together, slot into place, come together. As I studied the documents, the pieces of the puzzle began to fall into place. As I studied history, the pieces of the puzzle began to fall into place, and I could understand the broader context of events. After hearing all the witness testimonies, the detective felt like the case was starting to fall into place. Stand the test of time. To endure and remain relevant or valuable over a long period. Synonym for stand the test of time. Endure, last, survive, withstand, persist, weather. Classic literature often stands the test of time, continuing to be read by generations. The principles of democracy outlined in ancient Greece have stood the test of time and continue to influence political systems around the world. Shakespeare's plays have stood the test of time and continue to be performed and studied centuries later. Piece together. To reconstruct or assemble information to understand a historical narrative. Synonym for piece together. Reconstruct, assemble, compile, gather, patch together, put together. Historians piece together eyewitness accounts and archival documents to uncover the truth about the historical event. Archaeologists work tirelessly to piece together fragments of pottery to reconstruct the ancient civilization. Archaeologists piece together the fragments of ancient artifacts to understand past civilizations. Documented in history. To be officially recorded or chronicled in historical records. Synonym for documented in history. Recorded in history books, chronicled in historical records, written in the annals of history, documented in historical archives, preserved in historical documents, registered in historical accounts. The event was documented in history books as a turning point in the nation's development. The battle was well documented in history books, detailing the strategies of both sides. The signing of the Declaration of Independence is a momentous event documented in history. Look ahead to anticipate or consider future consequences based on historical patterns. Synonym for look ahead to anticipate, foresee, predict, envision, foretell, forecast. Historians look ahead to future generations to ensure that important lessons from history are not forgotten. Economists look ahead to predict market trends based on historical data. After analyzing past economic trends, analysts look ahead to predict future market movements. Trace back to find the origin or historical roots of something. Synonym for trace back to originate from, date back to, have roots in, derive from, go back to, be traced to. The language can be traced back to ancient civilizations through linguistic analysis. The investigation revealed that the outbreak of the illness could be traced back to a contaminated water source in a rural area. The origins of the holiday can be traced back to ancient pagan rituals. Echo through time. To have a lasting impact or influence that reverberates through history. Synonym for echo through time. Resonate through history, reverberate across the ages, have a lasting impact, leave a lasting impression, endure through the ages, permeate through history. The artistic innovations of the Renaissance continue to echo through time, influencing modern aesthetics and culture. The words of great leaders echo through time, inspiring generations to come. The ideals of freedom and equality echoed through time, inspiring future generations to strive for justice. Hold on to. To maintain one's grip or connection, or to wait. Synonym for. Hold on to. Cling to, grasp, clutch, retain, clasp, grip. Hold on to your dreams and never give up. He tightly held on to the railing as the ship sailed through rough waters. Despite the turbulence, she held on to her dreams of becoming a successful entrepreneur. Break up. To end a romantic relationship or disband a group. Synonym for. Break up. Split up, separate, dissolve, disband, end, part ways. The band decided to break up after years of collaboration. The band announced their decision to break up due to creative differences among the members. After months of disagreements, Sarah and Tom decided to break up and go their separate ways. Put up with. To tolerate or endure a difficult or unpleasant situation. Synonym for. Put up with. Tolerate, endure, bear, stand, suffer, accept. I can't put up with his constant complaining anymore. Despite the constant noise from construction next door, she put up with it because she knew it was temporary. He couldn't put up with his boss's rude behavior any longer and decided to look for a new job. Bring up. To mention or introduce a topic in conversation. Synonym for. Bring up. Raise, mention, introduce, broach, refer to, raise the subject of. During the meeting, she brought up the need for better communication between departments. I didn't want to bring up the issue during the meeting. He hesitated to bring up the sensitive topic of budget cuts during the staff meeting. Get across. To successfully communicate an idea or message. Synonym for. Get across. Communicate, convey, transmit, express, deliver, share. It's challenging to get complex concepts across in a short presentation. The teacher used various examples and visuals to get across the complex scientific concept to her students. Despite the language barrier, he managed to get his message across to the audience through gestures and expressions. Take off. To become successful or popular quickly. Synonym for. Take off. Succeed, prosper, flourish, boom, surge, rocket. The new fashion trend really took off this season. The fashion designer's latest collection took off and gained international recognition, leading to a surge in demand. The new smartphone model took off in the market, becoming the best-selling device within weeks of its release. Look forward to. To anticipate or be excited about a future event. Synonym for. Look forward to. Anticipate, await, expect, eagerly anticipate, count on, long for. She looks forward to her weekly book club meetings as a chance to unwind and discuss literature. I look forward to spending the weekend at the beach with my family. I'm looking forward to the weekend getaway. Given. To surrender or yield to a request or demand. Synonym for give in, surrender, yield, submit, relent, capitulate, concede. Despite her initial reluctance, she eventually gave in and agreed to accompany him to the party. After hours of negotiation, they finally gave in to the demands of the striking workers. After hours of negotiation, he finally gave in to their demands. Go over. To review or examine carefully. Synonym for go over. Review, examine, scrutinize, study, analyze, check. Let's go over the details of the plan one more time. Let's go over the details of the project one more time to ensure we haven't missed anything important. The teacher asked the students to go over their homework assignments before the end of the class. Run out of. To deplete the supply of something and have none left. Synonym for run out of. Exhaust the supply of, deplete, use up, empty, run low on, drain. The marathon runner ran out of energy halfway through the race and had to drop out. We ran out of milk, so I need to stop by the store on my way home. We need to go grocery shopping. We've run out of milk. Come up with. To devise or think of a solution, idea, or plan. Synonym for come up with. Devise, create, invent, formulate, produce, generate. Can you come up with a creative name for our new project? She always manages to come up with creative ideas for her art projects. The research team came up with a groundbreaking solution to the problem that had baffled scientists for years. Take up. To begin a new activity or hobby. Synonym for take up. Start, begin, embark on, adopt, undertake, engage in. I decided to take up painting as a way to relax. She recently took up yoga to improve her flexibility and overall well-being. After retirement, he decided to take up painting as a hobby. Break down. To fail or cease to function, or to analyze something into smaller parts. Synonym for break down. Fail, malfunction, collapse, disintegrate, fall apart, break apart. It's essential to break down complex tasks into smaller steps to make them more manageable. The old car broke down on the highway, leaving them stranded until help arrived. The car broke down on the way to the airport. Back up. To support or confirm a statement or claim. Synonym for back up. Support, confirm, substantiate, verify, corroborate, endorse. The witness's testimony backed up the defendant's alibi, providing crucial evidence for the defense. Make sure to back up your important files regularly to prevent data loss in case of a computer malfunction. I can back up my argument with solid evidence. Cut down on. To reduce the quantity or frequency of something. Synonym for cut down on. Reduce, decrease, lessen, diminish, minimize, scale back. The doctor advised him to cut down on his sugar intake to improve his overall health. We need to cut down on our expenses if we want to save money for our vacation. I'm trying to cut down on caffeine for better health. Call off. To cancel an event or arrangement. Synonym for call off. Cancel, abandon, scrub, nix, terminate, drop. The meeting was called off at the last minute due to unforeseen circumstances. Due to the heavy rain, they had to call off the outdoor concert. Due to the weather, they had to call off the outdoor concert. Show up. To appear or arrive, especially when unexpected. Synonym for show up. Appear, arrive, turn up, come, make an appearance, present oneself. He didn't show up for the meeting, and we were worried. Despite the early hour, most of the guests had already shown up for the event. She didn't expect him to show up at the party, but there he was, smiling at her from across the room. You can find playlists for various languages in the video description. To practice the vocabulary, you are encouraged to explore our various apps. Links to these are also included in the description. If you found something new or interesting, feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section and provide your valuable feedback. And please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel for more educational content.